A quick approach into Euro USD to see the price action and to possibly know the next direction of price. Euro USD has been bearish for a very long time after price reaching parity and buyers pushed up price. So we want to look at it from the weekly perspective to give us a clear directional bias as to where Euro USD may be headed. Central banks look to cutting rates. That would technically put Euro USD in a serious loggerhead. There are a series of discussion and we'll be looking at the price action to be able to know the next thing to do. We have here support structure, break of a support structure, retest. This is 2022 August. So we'll be looking at 2-year price action. Look at 2-year price action to guide our bias. We need to look back. We have a support structure, break of a support structure, price came on retest. So let's double the line, add little flavor to it. So price retested. We had another retest. Supply. Break of a resistance structure. Return Euro USD from a bearish phase to a bullish phase, putting price away from supply to demand zone, which I will also label demand floor. We're going to have our demand floor. We also have our demand trend line, also a floor. I will also show it. And the next we're going to have is our supply roof. So this is our supply roof from July 2023. Price developed the supply roof. Every time price touch the supply roof is a sell. Watch the character. It's always changing character that leads to break of structure. So you see, price return and fail to play in the previous direction of supply roof. What happened? The structure was broken, character changed. Liquidity was building up in a descending trend line, which I will call DTL. This is a descending trend line with a supply characteristics. So for every time price touches the roof, the supply roof is a sell. And in the month of July 2024, a bullish candle after tapping, receiving impulse from the demand floor, broke the structure. The subsequent week went on to clarify a breakout from a descending supply roof. Price return on retest. July, Monday, 29. Evidence is everything. Evidence. Evidence. So price return Monday, 29 July 2024 to retest a broken supply roof, putting it on a demand floor. We want price to return to the demand floor to keep a buy bias. And we want price to return to supply roof to keep a sell bias. So Euro USD return, making a return. The weekly candle didn't tap in completely into the zone. but it might trigger buy. We have other confluence. We have other points, which we will show from the RSI divergence. So when price return to the demand floor, we have this demand floor play out successively on three different occasions. Every time price returns to the demand floor, it's a buy. You can see it evidently. You can see it clear. Every time price returns here, it's a buy. Every time on the weekly candle, every time we return here, it's a buy. This is a demand floor. And price is making its way back to the demand floor. But there is a clause to this. We have a supply roof, a breaker from a supply roof. Price tested once. I want a situation where price will return to test again. A second retest to a broken supply roof. So that would be what a lot of people might consider as fake out, but it's not fake out. I will wait for a buy at this level. Here is the right place to wait for a buy. This is the right place to wait for a buy. So the reason you're waiting for a buy there, if you understand, you understand. If you don't understand, you don't understand. You can see it. Supply roof 1, supply roof 2, supply roof 3, supply roof 4, 5. Break of a supply roof, retest, RT. So this is a retest candle. So I expect price to continue to tap into this level. So price will come into this level. If that will happen this month, we will use our vertical strategy to look for confluence. In the coming week, Euro USD will look for a buy opportunity at this level. That is if buyers fail to uphold the demand floor. However, price will pierce the demand floor with the intention not to break the floor, but to pick liquidity. So what I'm saying in essence is that we might have a pierce below the demand floor, not because price want to close the week below the demand floor, but in search of liquidity for uptick, price will come down to retest a broken supply roof, now a demand floor. So price will come into this zone and that will be a trigger in the zone of 1.06868 for a buy. Yes, based on the strategy. This candle represents the coming week. This week is already closed. This is next week candle, which will run for 5 days. So if we have this bearish candle continue to drop, we want to see a buy at 1.06868. The reason is because we have a broken supply roof, price return on demand floor. On demand floor, we tested once and we are returning on a retest. We have a double confluence. What is a confluence? An ascending trend line, ATL. The ascending trend line have held price firmly with SRRS characteristics. We have here support structure, break of a support structure, retest 1, retest 2, break of a resistance structure, price return, retest 1, forming an ascending trend line. A psychological weekly ascending trend line, serving the function demand and supply. In the previous, it was a supply. On break of a supply roof becomes a demand floor. So price is playing on demand. Euro USD is on demand, not supply. The structure of the market on weekly says Euro USD is on demand, not supply. We broke the structure, returned to demand. Demand 1, demand 2, demand 3. Price is returning back to demand 4. And when you look at it from a descending trend line, supply roof 1, supply roof 2, supply roof 3, supply roof 4, break of a supply roof, price return on demand floor. So I want to tap into this place to retest this broken supply roof as our new demand floor. We have tested once. We want a second test to the descending trend line breakout. So the double confluence is we have the black line, a dynamic support structure holding price, a psychological support trend line ascending. So the market will pull here and get rejected, close the week above this level. So it is not manipulation, it is structure of the market. And there is also a possibility that the demand floor, which is the ascending trend line, the black trend line, can hold price. Demand 1, demand 2, demand 3, there is also a possibility that price might stop at this level. So it's all based on your risk appetite. If your risk appetite is strong enough, you might want to look at a buy from this level. You might look at a buy at this level. But if you are very fearful of price, then you have to wait and don't jump in. Don't jump in without further confirmation. Confirmation is key. At 1.7, at 1.07960, there might be a reaction. There might be a reaction at that level. But to be very precautious, patience is part of the character, and that makes the winning strategy. So allow price to come in into the blue zone. The blue zone on the weekly, we see price in the zone of 1.06868. That doesn't mean 1.07960 will not react. It might react at that level. The reason is because it's an ascending trend line on demand floor. So Euro USD is on demand. Euro USD might be seeing a significant push. From the downside, we have a resistant support structure. Again, we have here a support structure, SR. Support become resistance on break of structure. We have here another SR, which coincides with our previous demand floor, and price have rallied. When price returned, it broke the structure. You can see. So let's change this color to purple. So when price returned May 24, 18th, the structure was broken. What structure was broken? An ascending trend line. What is the function of the ascending trend line? Acting as what? Demand floor. Demand 1, demand 2, demand 3, demand 4. Break of a demand structure. Return price on supply roof. And that was why price has sold out. So we had here as our new supply roof. Roof. It is what it is. So let's make a zone to better understand the price action. So you can see when price broke out from the support structure of the ascending purple trend line, acting as demand floor, it's now a supply roof. So the price played along the structure. So when price returned here on the first retest after the breakout from a support structure, it now becomes resistance, which I will call RT1, and also a supply roof. RT1. So we had another test into that zone, and that was a final bearish whistle. So when you see us make post on final warning, Look at the analysis on a higher time frame and understand why it is a final warning. So this was a final warning and Euro USD depart on a bearish journey. So you can see it on a weekly time frame. So on technical, we have two support structure holding price, a breaker from a supply roof awaiting retest. After a successful retest, then we have a dynamic support structure, a previous resistance structure broken becomes a demand floor, setting price up for a bullish rally. So by technical, we have 2-1. 2-1 in the sense that we have two bullish supports, two demand floor supports against one supply roof. Majority wins the vote. We have only one supply roof against Euro USD. Look at the structure. A popular ascending trend line, support, 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 break of a support structure, resistance, retest 1, retest 2, pushing price down. To the downside, we have a support structure, break of a support structure, resistance test, break resistance structure, retest, support, demand floor 1, demand floor 2, demand floor 3, price returning to demand floor 4. And when we look at it from the downside, we have a supply roof 1, supply roof 2, supply roof 3, supply roof 4, 5. A breaker from a supply roof, price return on retest. On weekly, price is coming back, playing what? On demand floor. So we have 2-1 against Euro USD. Euro USD will see a significant buy if price can make its way into 1.06868. If that doesn't happen, expect price in 1.07960. Another extreme case to our buying position where we found another structure, another support structure is in this zone, which I will label black, 1.04189. Look at the structure, resistance structure, break of a resistance structure, retest. So we use the price action to decide if a line will be a psychological line or not. It is the behavior that gives that right psychological, meaning it's worthy of note. So when a line is called a psychological line, it means it has done a lot in the past. So we hold it responsible. We use it to guide our bias. We use it to have a clear directional bias. You can see when price broke out, retest, retest, break of a support structure, retest, break of a resistance structure, retest, break of a support structure, retest, break of a resistance structure, retest, retest. So Euro USD remains on 3-1 on demand and supply strategy. We have 3-1, 1 for USD, 3 for Euro. So the worst case scenario is price come down here to play. So this is the graphical interpretation of the structure. They are all valid based on the structure. They are all valid. So if price doesn't come here in coming week by Sydney Open into Asia Open, London Open, and New York Open, if price fails to come to this level, then we watch the close of the week. If the close of the week ends unsuccessful, you move your vertical strategy to the next week. So this is our perspective. And when we look at the line chart, we have a descending structure. After price forming a triple top before the bearish drop, price came here, respected, you can see, and formed a resistance structure. When we connect the two highs, you see price descending. When price return here, it's a sell. When price return here, it's a sell. Now price broke out from a descending trend line, returning